Happy Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday, everybody. We are excited to be here. Happy Black History Month. Happy Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday. And we've got some wonderful things to be talking about. We've got a great, wonderful speaker, and I am just excited to be here and share wellness tips. We are in what week are we in? We are in the last week of February. And while we have been talking about a series this month of identifying and embracing a worry free lifestyle, we are in part 10. And today we are going to be talking about a wonderful topic with a wonderful guest about pancreatic cancer, walking the talk, pancreatic cancer survivor, the story, the signs, what's next, and 2023's PANCAN Walk. The special guest that we have today that I've got on this amazing screen. Her name is Summer Decoste. Did I pronounce that right, Summer?
Decoste.
Decoste, thank you.
That's okay.
And before we do that, I just want to take a few moments of stillness, as I always do before I introduce this amazing speaker, just for anyone that has been affected in the earthquakes from Syria to Turkey, even to Lebanon. Maybe it's from the aftermath of the wars in Ukraine, tragedies in Uvalde, or maybe you're just experiencing some tragedies within your own community, your own home, maybe even your own self. This is just a few moments of stillness for you, asking God to put that hedge of protection over you and know that you are not alone. And we are here excited to share wellness tips and just offer resources, any way that we can help you to share that you are not alone. Thank you for just a few moments of stillness. Thank you so much for that. We have some great, amazing awarenesses that we have this month. And we are sharing about National Children's Dental Month, Raynaud's and scleroderma. We have American Health Month, tinnitus awareness, eating disorders awareness, congenital heart defect, American Heart Month, World Day of Social Justice, Jewish Disability Awareness, your youth mental health, World Cancer Day. And of course, as I mentioned before, we have Black History Month that we are celebrating some amazing Black women and men in our world today, just to reach out, tell them that you love them and that you definitely recognize and celebrate them. But today, we are going to be talking about pancreatic cancer. We're getting hyped up for this walk called PanCan, and Summer's going to tell us about that. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Maynard MacArthur, and I am your hospitality, health, and wellness strategist that is here to help guide you through a positive process for change. And that is with our pillars of a lean, holistic, healing approach from the inside out. That lean stands for lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. I am an overcomer and survivor and very passionate about people, each one of you sharing your story as I continue to do so myself. I am a master certified health and wellness coach with the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute that complements a certification I have in traditional Chinese medicine. And the tips today are being brought to you by MacArthur Accommodations, where we are a hospitality, health and wellness coaching and consulting advisement company that specializes in that overall health and wellness worldwide with innovations to reflect, recharge, and renew yourself one step at a time. So I'm honored to share and introduce a beautiful sister in Christ, a beautiful friend that I've not even met and got to hug her neck physically. But we have such a close bond that I'm just honored that she has come into this space to share her gifts and her story with you. Her name is Summer Decoste, and Summer is a hope dealer. That goes for HOPE, a survivor of pancreatic cancer, and she's an artist. Her journey is to discover the art of reading, living as an artist. Painting is her passion and part of her wellness therapy that she has to paint daily. Her motto is building strength when I am weak and building upon where I am strong. And I love those words. Sharing her whole body wellness journey that includes her mind and soul. She is really passionate about doing this in the community. And without further ado, I just want to say welcome, Summer. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this story that you're going to tell us. We spoke a couple of months ago. We were just starting this out. I think it was November or December that we started talking. It was one of the first bloopers that we got, but the message came across. And today it's going to be about walking the talk. Pancreatic cancer survivor, the story, the signs, and what's next. And then we'll close with the 2023 PANCAN and some things that you have. So I just want to pass you the mic and say, take it away and share with us. And thank you for being here again.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Michelle, so much for having me. And, I adore you and really have enjoyed getting to know you more with the Elephant Strategy Club on Clubhouse. It's been amazing.
Yes, it has.
And I don't believe in any accidents. And I'm thankful to have this opportunity to be here, one, right? Because I'm thankful to be here to even talk about this. But pancreatic cancer, in 2018, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And that was, I have to say, one of, I would say, the most frightening time in my life, just not knowing, what was going to happen. And they told me in one of my doctor's appointments, she said, most people don't survive this. And she actually excused herself and said, I'll be back. I'll let you guys compose yourselves and I'll be back. I really had not thought about the gravity of what I had been diagnosed with at the time. And so that did it. that was like a jolt. And I actually was put into a clinical trial. I'm very thankful to have been in that trial. And it led me to being able to have the surgery, which is a Whipple procedure, which is where they take your duodenum, your gallbladder, sometimes a portion of your stomach, and they reconnect all of this back together again. And it's an amazing surgery. And I had an amazing doctor. His name is Dr. Michael White. He's in Richmond. If you ever need a really good surgeon, he's an awesome surgeon. And thankfully, I was able to get that procedure done. On top of that, I did become very ill again afterwards, and I was not able to receive chemo after the Whipple procedure. However, that procedure was done July 20th of 2018. And like I said, I had some troubles right after that, where I had a feeding tube, and it was quite the experience. But again, like I said, thankfully everything worked out. I'm doing really well, but I know that that's not the case for everybody else. And I'm just thankful for an organization like PANCAN. If you go to pancan.org, there's all kinds of good information. I had the signs for myself when I was diagnosed. I went into the doctor, and thankfully they were able to see me pretty quickly. I went into the doctor and expressed that I felt like I was had indigestion. And my back was hurting. I couldn't understand why my back was hurting so bad. And I listened to a few of the signs for myself at that time because I was in so much pain. And I decided I'm going to go to the doctor whether I want to or not, right? It was one of those situations where I got to get in there. I got to see what's going on. When in fact she had given me a prescription for Pepsid. And the Pepsid I knew would help me, but why was my back hurting so bad? And then again, listening to some of the signs, I remembered my sister had just had some problems. I hope Tanya's okay with me sharing sharing her information, but it is part of what happened to me, and why all this matters. And so she had just had gallstones just prior to that, like a month or two prior to that. And so right before I left, I had my hand on the doorknob. I was walking out of the office and I said to the doctor, my sister just had gallstones. And this kind of sounds like to me something like that. And she said, look, you know what? Just to be on the safe side, let's do a scan. And from that, the rest is history. Thank God she did that. Thank God she was listening to me and not just pacifying me with a pill. So, you know, so some of the symptoms again were, just having kind of a bloated stomach for me, and then just digestion issues, and there's like pale stool, and just some of the other symptoms that I'm going to mention here that you might want to watch out for. And there's another thing, another key to this when you're talking to your doctors. If you have any or more than a couple of these things, whenever you mention these to your doctors, make sure and mention the fact that you would like to have, your pancreas looked at in conjunction with this, because a lot of times the symptoms that come up mimic something else that may be rather benign, like indigestion, where you can just take something to help yourself with that, indigestion, versus this is a bigger issue. And so if you listen to some of these symptoms and you believe that you have some of these, I urge you to talk to your doctor about this, or, get treatment or help as needed. And the pain is usually in the abdomen or the back, as I was talking about earlier, that one of the symptoms. So this type of cancer may cause only vague, unexplained symptoms, right? The pain usually in the abdomen or the back. Weight loss, like a sudden weight loss that you may have. Jaundice, which is a yellowing of the skin or eyes, with or without itching. Loss of appetite, that's certainly one thing to take note of. Nausea, that was certainly something that was a problem for me. Change in stool, pancreatitis, and also recent onset diabetes are symptoms that may indicate pancreatic cancer. So if you're experiencing one or more of these symptoms, I really want to urge you again, to go and see your doctor and talk to them immediately about this. And also reference pancreatic cancer. It's better safe than sorry, because a lot of the reason why so many people don't, um, have the outcome that they want is because they catch it too late. The symptoms show up, like I said, as other things, and we treat other things. But as we get closer to the actual problem, which may be pancreatic cancer, it may be too late. It may have already spread, beyond what they can do as far as a surgical procedure, or, that type of thing. However, that said, there are clinical trials available. And I'm very thankful for that. Actually, I was in a clinical trial, as I mentioned earlier. And if you go to pancan.org, they can tell you what trials are available in your area or in your surrounding areas, if that's something that you're interested in. But that's something else that I would do as well, is to check in with pancan.org. If you do get a diagnosis, or if you have any questions about maybe this might be something I need to look into. And I've been talking a lot, Michelle. Do you have any questions or any thoughts about what I've shared so far?
No, this has been good. And I'm sorry if you saw me kind of hit over. I wanted to make sure, because this is important for the replays. And I was trying to make sure it was just actually everybody could properly hear on that. And I did put it into the chat. We'll go back after the broadcast, and we'll make sure that these proper links are there for you. And I'm just really grateful, humbled, and honored that we have Summer here to share this, because the past that we've known about pancreatic cancer is that it is something that goes so fast. It's like you get diagnosed and your loved one is not with you and not with us anymore in just a really quick time. Um, some that are very close and dear to me that are with the Lord now. Others that, like Summer, are here. I've got other beautiful sisters in Christ that have gone through the same. And I'm just grateful that you're here to share that, because when you hear my world of talking about that lean, the lifestyle, the exercise, the attitude, nutrition, coming from a different journey of neuromuscular, it still goes into the digestion, and it is about what we eat. And it is something as simple as, do we take Pepsid, an antacid, or is there something underlining? And it's always, I do want to send a disclaimer out just for anyone out there to know that this is all for educational purposes only. We are sharing our story. We are not here to treat, diagnose, or prescribe. If you are in need of immediate danger, please seek your doctor, a medical professional, immediately so that you can find out what's happening. And as Summer had mentioned, even when, let me just prescribe a pharmaceutical grade of Pepsid or something, just to kind of maybe have that in your toolkit of what to say after. To be able to say, hey, can we do another test? And this is something that we can provide for you. The internet's been kind of going in and out on both Summer and I, so hopefully she'll be clicking back over. It is pancan.org. There's also going to be a walk that we are doing in honor of Summer, in support, but also in support of anybody that that is maybe struggling with pancreatic cancer. And so that one will be taking place the end of April. We will have Summer back every month until we have that, just so that she can bring more awareness. And as we really talked about into the pancreas, I just want to take a few moments while we wait for Summer to click back in. Is it talks about the diet and our organs. It goes into a big part is into the gallbladder. Can you hear me okay, Summer?
I can, yeah.
Good. So into the gallbladder, and some may say, well, I don't have my gallbladder. Well, you want to make sure, and you've heard me say this so many times, but you have your ducts that are connected into the gallbladder, and those ducts, they can get clogged up, and you want to make sure that you are cleaning out your gallbladder. If you don't have your gallbladder, you're cleaning out your ducts. You are going through a certain diet. People with pancreatic issues, because what happens when the ducts get clogged, that sludge, stones, calcification, sticky stuff, like Dr. Sears calls it, is it gets trapped caked onto our arteries, onto the lining of our intestines, into our ducts. And sometimes they go into stones. And if they don't have any place to go, they start shooting the stones into your pancreas. And this is what happens, pancreatitis. Someone's like, I was just having I was throwing up. I had the migraines. I had the headaches right through here. Sometimes it's into the lymphatic system, whatever, or it's that pain on the one of the sides. Sometimes it rotates in your scapula side. If you're having any of these, this right here is your body saying, hey, something's going on. Immediately, please, please, please look at what you're eating. Are you eating fried and spicy? Are you eating onions? Are you eating too much sugar? Are you eating fatty foods? Are you eating processed foods? Processed foods is from junk foods. You walk in, everything needs to be done in moderation. Look at that. Are you moving? Are you getting your body moving so that you can have that endothelium in your body, get your body's internal medicine with the arteries and the blood and the vessels and everything to be flowing properly. So that is something. I want to turn it back over to you, Summer. I did talk about the PanCan being at the end of the month, and tell us what else is on your heart to share that you feel like it's important, especially with diet or whatever you feel.
Well, obviously diet is important, before, during, and after. And, after, I've learned that there are, especially because of the Whipple procedure, just because of having a portion of, removal of gallbladder, part of my pancreas. I didn't even mention that part of my pancreas removed. Some of these things, like already, one thing about that procedure is that if you're not diabetic, that you certainly, there's a high possibility that you will be once you have this procedure. And that's one thing that I am not, not surprisingly, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just happy to be here, like I said. But I am not diabetic, but I do watch myself like I could be, or, just because I'm trying to take care of what I have. So as far as the diet is concerned, um, most of what I eat is fairly bland. I do go off and do some things that, I know better, but I pay the price. I mean, it's not comfortable. So that I would add, just as far as the diet is concerned, and something I mentioned earlier, as far as like the risk factors, are you at risk, right? And there is a quiz on pancan.org that you can go and take, that is an are you at risk quiz. If you go to look at what the risk factors are on that website, and it's a 10-question test to learn more about pancreatic cancer risk factors and what might increase your risk. So that's a good thing to do. Again, if you think that you might be a candidate for something like this, and I don't know if candidate's even the right word, but you know what I mean. You might be someone at risk. And some of the are going to risk factors associated with pancreatic cancer are going to be family history, whether or not, you have this in your family already. It can be an inherited genetic mutation. Diabetes, long-standing and new onset diabetes would be a high risk factor. Smoking, that's just a bad thing all the way around, right? Race or ethnicity. I will say that Black Americans, well, as far as I'll talk about that in a minute, but they are more at risk for pancreatic cancer than any other race, and that's something that PanCan is going to be addressing. They have a webinar that's going to be happening on February 23rd, which is Thursday. Is that tomorrow? I believe. Yeah, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested, in honor of Black History Month, PanCan is going to be hosting a seminar or a webinar just about that. So join us to talk about that. If you'd like to, you can go to the pancan.org website, and there'll be information there. You just click and they'll send you a link to the webinar for tomorrow afternoon. So that's a point. Obesity is a high risk factor. Pancreatitis, chronic or hereditary, that's a risk factor. Older age, typically it's 65 years or older. But I have talked to some doctors recently that said that they're seeing more patients at a younger age than they ever have for pancreatic cancer. I certainly was not in that older age category, so to speak, but 65 or older is generally the age that they would notice that. Diet, having a bad diet, an unbalanced diet, eating a lot of red meat, etc. Actually, I probably shouldn't even overspeak that. If you go, it will give you a list of more information on that. Alcohol, excuse me, alcohol, obviously the abuse of it, one, but alcohol in general, it'll give you more information about that too, as far as being a risk factor. Chemical and heavy metal exposure, and gum disease. If you have gum disease, that puts you at a higher risk factor as well. Again, any one or more of these, if you think you have, if you fall into this category, something else to just couple with the symptoms, whenever you're talking to your doctor, so that they can more adequately diagnose what is going on with you. And with that, any questions about that?
Yeah, I'd
LaChelle?
like to just for a few minutes, and I'm grateful for your time.
Yeah.
Is when you talked about teeth and gums, I know there's been some conversations in the past, and um, where I just want to kind of just share that one of the things when you look on the traditional Chinese medicine side, obviously it's about going into the organs, making sure things are healthy. But when the stomach and spleen are not harmonizing together, that's where the liver and the gallbladder kind of take place in. And what happens is there's a lot of inflammation. I'm actually about to teach a new one of my workshops on inflammation, but this inflammation causes what in the TCM side we call heat, internal heat, and that internal heat is inflammation, but that internal heat rises. So if you're eating these things, spicy is hot, right? Hot can go into your body, it's going to be hot, and it's going to create that. Now, some of the things, sometimes it's really good for helping with pain and things, but it depends on the person. That's why I always mention we're not here to treat, diagnose, or prescribe, just educate. And so you can see what your body type is. It doesn't matter whether it's a pharmaceutical or even an herbal medicine, whatever. You want to make sure that you are seeking the advice of a professional with that, because you can take a look. What is good for you? When you have that internal heat, it rises. So if you've got stomach heat, stomach acid, you're having acid reflux that's coming in from the stomach, that's coming in and it's rising and it's coming here. It can create plaque, or it can create inflammation that comes right through here, comes right there in the esophagus, but then it rises into our teeth and gums, causing gingivitis, where some of mine stuff even started with gingivitis, but then great dentist I have that she's really in tune. Shout out to Dr. A, is just really in tune with autoimmune chronic diseases, that it goes into periodontal. And you have to make sure you have to get teeth and gum, cleanings, deep cleanings, 3 times a month is for me, maybe sooner. But those things can kind of create, because stomach heat goes into even teeth and gum. And there's a whole hygiene, dental hygiene of that. And I just wanted to kind of, because that was something that I thought about, because I was just at the dentist, and then, the conversations came up. But it is about the diet, and it is about making sure that we have that dental hygiene as well. And that's just one of the symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even, when you go into the site, it tells you, gives you just kind of general, it doesn't describe it as well as you did for sure, but it is interesting. And actually I was talking to my dentist the other day about this, saying that, if we took our, dental as serious as we, I mean, just even
Right.
just taking care of the cleanings once a year and that sort of thing. There's a lot of things that your dentist could tell you based on just exactly what you said. And even here, on the website, it says gum disease, um, periodontal gum disease and tooth loss appear to be linked to pancreatic cancer, even when controlling for other risk factors. And it's really true. And I have had, a series of issues with my teeth now, but I also am following up with my other doctors at the same time, because, they're having to do all of this stuff, um, you know, things that I've really needed to have done for the longest time. Um, and I can see that, even links after the fact, like things that you look back on. So it's a good conversation to have with yourself, to just, especially if you've experienced even just one or a couple of these things, you
That's why
know.
your physical, your checkups are so important,
Oh yeah.
at your dental, and to go and make sure. But listen to your body. No,
Mhm.
obviously you need to eat right. If you're eating junk food all the time, if you're eating lots of sugar, because I get it, you're busy, you're tired, you're overwhelmed with life. Life is hard and things coming at you, but really stay focused on that self care and listen to your body, and don't
Yeah.
just really not pay attention. Oh, it's just a little knee ache. Oh, it's just a little backache, because you never know. And it's better just to be safe and be healthy. And
Mhm.
that, if that's one message I want to say. I know that we also, and I put here because while I've got LaChelle's information here, she was on the replay. I'll post that this morning and on Clubhouse. But just one of the beautiful Black women in our lives, but it's National Black History Month. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, as far as National Black History Month. And so she is definitely one that's just one of the beautiful ones that have made an impact in my life. And with PanCan, I'm going to let you go ahead and share some of the things that you were talking about tomorrow. If you could kind of just really talk about that a little bit more in detail.
That we're going to be talking about when? I'm sorry.
Oh, for on the PanCan, that is about Black History Month.
Oh, well, they're going to have different speakers there tomorrow. And they'll have, pancreatic cancer survivor, as well as some of the doctors that are involved in PanCan in research. And so these are Black members, Tiana DeCray, Fabian, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. Ehivet, Edith Mitchell, MD, and Rod Williams. Those are the four key people that will be talking at this event. But they're just going to be having they will be having a conversation about pancreatic cancer in the Black community. And just the statistics are high for the Black community. And so they're the highest for the Black community. So it's an important conversation to have. And I'm glad to be involved and to volunteer for an organization like this. They have helped me, along with so many others, in having those hard conversations. And because of that, I'm just thankful. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I reached out to LaChelle in the very beginning. Speaking of LaChelle Adkins, she has become such a, just such a good friend to me in the past couple of years. And she was one of the ones that really pushed me forward. I really, something I didn't even think that I would have to, or I'd never thought of even facing was, survivor's guilt. And that's something that I've even had to deal with, you know.
Oh, and she popped out. I do know one of the things is that we're just grateful to you, LaChelle. So we're shouting out to you just because of the encouragement that you do. And I know that that's one of the things Summer is saying is how important that support is that you give to us, LaChelle. So we're definitely shouting out. And I'll let you continue your thought. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Continue.
No, so I think where I was going with that, which I'm not really sure, but I think it's just,
Her support and
yeah,
how
it
it
is.
pushed you
Support.
along.
It was support. I mean, when I don't want for anybody well, one, I don't want for anybody to ever get pancreatic cancer ever again. I just really don't. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't want for anybody ever to get it again. If I could have one hope, one wish, that's it, right? Takes one day at a time. And LaChelle pointed out to me early on when I was saying, gosh, I wish we had a walk in Richmond, and I had called PanCan about doing that, but I'm thinking I'm only one person. And she's like, you're one person, but one person makes two, makes three, makes four. You've seen that happen before. Other people I'm sure are calling to do it. So I did. And then, months went by, nothing really happened until someone called me and said, hey, you know what? We've gotten enough interest. We've gotten a few people. Let's just talk about it and see. So we had to lobby sort of for the walk to even be here. And when we actually were approved after, months of, trying to like get things together and years of, calling and saying, hey, can we do this? They approved us for the walk. And last year, and LaChelle, she really encouraged me to, continue on that, there needs to, she said, remember you said you reached out to somebody, you wanted to talk to someone that had survived this when you were going through this. And I said, yes. She said, be that person. And that changed everything for me. In that, I hope that by doing this walk, and LaChelle's actually driving up from Georgia to walk with me, but I hope that this will encourage someone to, one, get yourself checked out if you just even think that this might be a possibility. Maybe it's not cancer, it could be pancreatitis, and you can deal with any of this. You can deal with cancer if you're diagnosed with cancer. Anything is possible. That's one thing that I've learned through this whole experience. And I'm just not willing to give up. I want for other people to have the same experience and more, right? I'm so thankful to God to be here. And I want to walk so that other people can have a better chance, than I had, and that other people will have in the future. I'm just glad to be here so that we can earn some money so that other people, will have, better treatment methods, so that they may find out earlier, and so that this can be healed and cured, and they don't have to go through, all the pain and heartache. Still here, all the pain
Yeah.
and heartache, all the pain and heartache that a lot of people go through. So I'm just thankful to be able to walk. I really am, and I'm glad that LaChelle's going to be here with me. My surgeon is going to be walking with us, Dr. White. One of my clinical trial nurses, Wendy, is going to be walking with us. So I'm really excited about this. And like I was saying, last year, the Richmond area, we raised over our goal, and we're aiming even higher this year. So if I may, I would love to invite you and anybody else listening. I'd love to have you on my team for the walk. The Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, or PANCAN, is doing a walk on April 29th. Now, that walk is going to be happening all over the United States. There's 59 other affiliates that'll be walking on that day as well. Here's the thing. You don't have to live in Richmond to be on my team, and you can walk from wherever you are. So I would be pleased if you would sign up. If you would like to walk and involve your family, let them know what this means to other people and how this can help other people in the future, now and in the future, because they're doing big things right now. PanCan is. I believe they donated $25 million to research in this last year, which is amazing.
It
And
is. I
so,
put it in the chat. I did. I put that the April 29th. So you'll be able to go back and make sure I typed it. My
yeah,
eyes don't cooperate all the time, but I think I put all of the links in there. I
okay.
also put the link of the lieutenant that you mentioned that was kind of important. But this PanCan, I've got it's PanCan 2023. Last year we had 12 months of summer
Yeah.
for summer Decoste. And so that's going to be one of the hashtags I think that we'll have for this next. And I'll put that one in there is 12 months of summer. And then just like Summer mentioned, is like I would love to go to Richmond, Virginia. You never know. I
Yeah.
may be there, but if I can't, as far as if I'm not able this year, it'll be on my radar.
Oh, well,
But
yeah, we would love to have you anytime. You know that,
we
and
can
like I
do it
said,
here.
it's exciting. I mean, it is exciting because it is the second annual in Richmond now. And last year, we had the first one last year, and it was really good. I mean, and I'm just excited to be able to show up and to do something in person with all my friends and the new friends that I've made, along the way. Oh, which reminds me, can I invite someone
Yes,
personally?
please, definitely,
Okay.
because I put her
All right.
link that in there. But before you invite someone, I just want to
Mhm.
say, if you are anywhere in the world, it does not matter. For this
Mhm.
to join Summer's team, please do just contact and reach out and do that walk. I don't care si usted estás en Argentina, por favor, porque hay cosas de nuestro páncreas en todo partes del mundo. If you're in Italy, if you're in
Ah,
Brazil, Germany, Africa. if you're in Kenya, if you are in Zimbabwe, wherever you are in the world, what if you're in Asia, in China, whatever part of the world you are in, I hope I've covered Dubai, the Antarctica, if you are in
India.
Tierra del Fuego, India, wherever you are in the world, whatever culture, this is for you. It does not matter, because we all have the same organs inside of us, and definitely just get up a walk within your own community to come support this great cause. But yes,
Yeah.
please, please do the invite right now. I did put that article you text me in
Oh,
the
good.
chat also. So go ahead, Summer, before we close, definitely.
All right. Well, I want to tell you there's a lady here in Richmond that really inspires me. And she inspired me last year to kind of do something. But now I would love to just let her know that I respect and admire her. And it's our new lieutenant governor in Virginia. Her name is Winsome Sears. And she is an incredibly strong, brave, um, fashionable, um, and just someone that I think has inspired me just because of the way she handled a particular situation. And it was right after she won the seat of, was appointed to Virginia's lieutenant governor. And this was from February 22nd of 2023. And this is from the Washington Examiner. And it says, Virginia's lieutenant governor put her foot down after her gavel went missing. uh, Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears had to adapt when an unknown prankster hit her gavel on Monday before a session of the Virginia State Senate. So when the woman used her shoe as a fill in for the role, resourcefulness, never underestimate it, Sears tweeted on Monday with a photo of her high heeled patent leather pump in hand. So what she did was she used her pump to as a gavel because someone had taken her gavel that day, and that was her first, her first big in front of everybody. And I thought, just the way that she handled the situation is the way that I feel like, I just think that takes a lot of grace and strength to be able to just say, you know what, this is the situation, but this is how I'm going to deal with it. I'll deal with it with what I have, and the strength that she is built on is how she dealt with that. And so with that, I went and bought this fancy pair of shoes. I don't know if you can see this or not. Can you see?
Oh, I love. Ooh, they're purple. Are they purple too? Oh my God, they're
Are they
beautiful.
funny?
Yeah, they've got purple
They're kind of
glitz going on.
purpley. They're kind of a purple color when when they're walking. So I bought this shoe, and I really was going to try to walk in this shoe because I thought this would be, yeah, I can't do it. But
You
I'm
can you can
using
still put them on and sit after the fact. You can be in those for pictures or whatever. That's great.
I may do that, but I just want to use this shoe right now to let Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears know how much she inspires me and has inspired me in this walk, that I'm just going to use what I have. I'm going to make the best of where I am, to help others. And I'd like to invite her to come and walk with us if she's available. Lieutenant Governor, it would be an honor if you would come and walk with us. And if you're not able to walk with us, if you would just help us in promoting the Pancreatic Cancer Walk in Richmond, Virginia, we would really appreciate that. And we appreciate your service and what you're doing for Virginia. So thank you for letting me do that, Michelle. I appreciate you, and hopefully, we'll hear from her, and maybe Governor Youngkin can join us. Who knows?
Yes, please. If
Aim
you
high,
hear that.
right?
That's right. If you hear this, we would be honored to have you, and we'll find the proper places to just tag and send it. You'll be able to send it as your own personal invitation. But what I hear and the impact that just you sharing that right there, Summer, I have to
Mhm.
just take a moment because, if you're out there and you're like, I don't have PanCan, I'm just going to scroll back through, stop for just a moment because it's about what journey you're going through, what
Mhm.
ailment you have, what struggle, what trauma, what whatever you might have that is you're struggling with that goes in, it does not matter. It does not matter if it's, if it is stage 4 life-threatening cancer, if it's neurological, if it's depression, if it is divorce, if it is losing a job, losing a just a loved one, or if it is just a discrepancy that you're having that really is just overcoming you. It does not matter what it is. The fact is that something is affecting you. And the part that I really just have as a takeaway, Summer, is because it doesn't matter, is to rise above. It could be someone you being bullied, someone being ugly to you in a manner that really affects you, that person thinks it's no big deal. I was just being frank. I was just being, just matter of fact, whatever that might be. It doesn't matter. It's what matters is how it affects the person, and your feelings matter. Your voice matters. And what it is about is finding that graceful way to take. If somebody took something away from me, and finding that graceful way to make your point, be heard, be seen, and not give up. Continue to do that, because when I hear that, and that goes, because this right here, purple is for pancreatic, purple is for domestic violence, family violence, purple is for lupus. There are so many different
suicide prevention.
Suicide, that's right. And all of those purples together are just something that I love. We've got our purples on to just support, but just please remember in closing that you are not alone. And I just always hear my scripture, Philippians 4:13. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. You Summer, have your scripture and share that with the world. What is your scripture that keeps you straight?
Well, Romans 12:12 seems to be one that stays with me always, and that is something that I put on a 4-foot tall by 3-foot wide sign in front of my yard when COVID first started. And that was really what I carried with me when I was sick. And that was, be joyful in hope, be patient in affliction, and be faithful in prayer. And that's just kind of a daily scripture for me.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for letting me. Thank you. My
Well,
pleasure.
I want to just say thank you again, Summer. Thank you for all those who listened. We did go over, but I'm just honored that we were able to bring this. It was very important. And so I've put her contact information. I have put it into the chats. I'm not sure if it carries over into LinkedIn, but don't worry, we will carry that over. And like, comment, share, subscribe right here below. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to this, and please share this. Share this to bring awareness to whoever you might know, because the world will be a much better place for that. And I just want to wish you all off for a beautiful, blessed, and prosperous day filled with abundant health. And as we say in the Elephant Strategy Club, is just go do today. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own. And so we also end in the clubhouse in our ESR room is go and be brilliant in the world today. So filled with abundant health, I'm going to wish you all off. Thank you so much. God bless you, and tune in next time. It'll be 2 weeks before we come back for Wellness Wednesday, but I'm excited to come back with a brand new series for you. Bye-bye.